Yes, please. Okay. What was I talking about?
School.
School! So I enjoy high school. So hello everyone, my name is Amanda Pryor, and if you need help remembering that, it's because prior to this, I was a man. This week on Amanda's Couch, we talk about school. I don't know who we're gonna interview yet. And after that, I'm gonna teach y'all a school lesson. Come, sit on Amanda's Couch. And hello! This is Amanda's Couch, the first episode without Gabe the producer, because they were at university, being all kinds of business fish. But I am joined by Phoenix, so let's get this party started. Our topic this week is school, because it is, currently by the time we're filming this, it's September, so it is like back to school season, getting back to the routine, back to the gig, back to the lessons and all of that. So I thought let's do a back to school episode because, you know, to prepare the children, because a lot of people don't like school. I personally like school because my year this year is looking like I'm taking fashion, I'm taking drama, I'm taking public speaking, I'm doing a co-op, I got French, math, and film. So I really am not having like a difficult year. But for those of you who are, just look at the nails. I feel like this look is very like 1940s housewife, right? Like coming home like, oh honey, I want to have a Tupperware party. We're going to sell Avon makeup. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm having like a Tupperware party in the 1940s.
Feeling Hunger Games.
Yeah, right? Yeah, or, oh yeah, like what are they called? Is it the Capitol?
The Capitol.
The Capitol, right? I'm sitting in the Hunger Games and I'm like, that's what I look like, this hair, what's her name? Elizabeth Banks. May the odds be ever in your favor. Doom, doom, doo, doo. No, that's the government of Canada. Is that what it is? Yeah, she goes like this. Oh my god, okay, that movie, I went and saw that movie in the theaters with this good friend, which this is tying into our Halloween episode, was the person who introduced me to horror movies, was also the person that introduced me to Hunger Games. She was like, we're going to see the Hunger Games. And at that age, everyone was like, oh no, Hunger Games, that's intense. People die in that movie. We're not gonna go see that. So I was like, girl, I gotta ask my parents permission. But then we get there to the theaters and we watch the Hunger Games, and needless to say, like every other, like, 11-year-old my age, well I mean all 11-year-olds would have been my age if I was 11, obsessed. So much so that inspired me to learn how to braid hair. Like other people were like, I watched the Hunger Games and I learned how to do archery and I was inspired to like do like bows and arrows. I watched the Hunger Games and I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to learn how to braid hair. Because she had that braid that went from like here all the way to here, and everyone had that hairstyle. Oh my goodness. That movie was such a thing. And also launched Jennifer Lawrence into the spotlight. I don't know where we're going with this, but this is okay, girl. We are on the Via Rail system. The track is here, the trains are there, and zoom, mama. School movies. There are so many school-themed movies. Like, you cannot go to the theaters without there being, like, well, okay, maybe not so much anymore, but I feel like the early 2000s, there was this trend of, like, school movies, like High School Musical, Mean Girls, Clueless, which was the 90s. Like, anyway, there were so many that they had to do, like, you know, like, Scary Movie? Like, the spoof of horror movies? They even did one called, like, Teen Movie or something. Like, it was such a thing in the early 2000s, and honestly, I say bring it back. Because it created such unrealistic expectations that I actually, like, can bear high school. School, teachers, students, education system. I mean, I picked this because it's back to school season, and I was like, what should we talk about? School. Here I am not knowing what to talk about school. I've been in school for like, you know that thing where like, I've gone to school like my whole life, and then you ask me to talk about school and I'm sitting here going, Mean Girls. But then I listened to a 40-minute podcast just now, the same one, The Great Women of Business, on Brownie Weiser, who invented the Tupperware party. And already I could talk to you for 6 years about Tupperware, but I've been going to school since like kindergarten, and here I am going, what can be said about school? Like, truly, honestly, school is just like less important than Tupperware. Well, y'all want to know about me? I'm gonna talk about my school journey. So I went to school just up the street for like, my house is, let's say, okay. This is something that Miss Amanda over here is not very good at. School is here. This is geography and directions and all that. So school is here. I just go to school up the street. This is geography and directions and all that. Up the street. I didn't have a lot of friends, and then I found out that I was gifted. I took a gifted test. So then they shipped me off, put me in a little envelope, zip, zip, zip. lick and pop me in the Canada Post, sent me off to a gifted school for grade 4 and 5. And that was like the best years of my life because I found other gifted people. I found people who were like me, essentially. I found my group of people, and then once that ended, I moved on to a middle school where I did middle school, essentially. No, not essentially. I did middle school. I did it. I passed. I graduated. I did all of that. Grade 8, I did an exchange, so I lived in Paris, which was, I picked up French. I'm fluent now. And then because of that, because I learned, like, how to learn a language, so then when I started watching, like, Korean TV shows and stuff, my brain was still in that mode of, like, picking up a language, so then I picked up Korean from there. Like, I literally learned Korean by accident. So then after grade 8, I graduate, I come here, I come to high school. I mean, the high school's not here, but I went to high school. Still in it. Still going to be in it. 6 years from now, I'll still be there. I'll either be sweeping the floors or getting my lessons learned. Getting my lessons learned. Again, you can tell I'm not taking English from the... English is such a strong suit for me. I'm having the best English day today.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to pick up English.
I start watching English TV shows, see if I can pick up English.
Go.
A lot of people have like negative ideas of high school. They're always like, oh, high school was the worst 4 years of my life. So I went in with two opposing ideas, like 1984 double think or double speak. I didn't read the book. But it's like I went in with two like separate ideas. Like I went in with the high school musical connotation, but I also went in with hearing people talk about how high school is the worst 4 years of their life. So I went in with both of those ideas thinking I'm gonna have either the best time, like the best, most unrealistic time, or I'm gonna go in and hate it. So I'm actually having like a good, like I don't hate high school. I don't hate going to school. Okay guys, so that was our opening banter on school and all my other ridiculousness. When you see us next, I'm gonna be sitting down with a special guest. Oh no, I still keep doing the Canadian government. Alright guys, and we're back. So instead of having a special guest sit on Amanda's couch for this episode, because we want to keep Phoenix's, special effects makeup gig a secret, I'm going to interview her behind the camera, okay? And we'll put like a little PNG, a little cutout image of her here and pretend that she's here. Okay, so Phoenix, how does it feel standing on the opposite side of Amanda's couch?
It feels pretty good. I like your floor. I like sitting on it.
Okay, so what is your relationship with school like?
Oh boy. I don't go to school very often because it's not that I dislike school, it's just that I dislike people. Like, I want to do online courses and switch to more night school type things and get my film degree at a special college so that I can go into FX makeup.
Word. I know someone who I knew last year who took, like, I don't know if they dropped out of school, but they're not going to school anymore. They're doing all their courses through, like, online, so that way they could work more hours at, like, the diner that they work at. Yeah. I don't know if I want to say her name in case she thinks I'm being shady, but we already said it. I can bleep it out, whatever. But yeah, she did that, and I was like, I'm so proud of you. Like, honestly, like, because school prepares you for what? Work.
Yeah.
Right? So if you already know what you want to do, cut out the middleman, cut out the middlewoman, cut out the middle monster of school, and just get your job. And she's working and she's happy. So I'm happy for her. And then what would you say was, like, of all the years you've been in school, the best grade for you?
Best grade? Well, I was bullied a lot throughout school. My first 7 years of school, I was bullied, physical, cyberbullying. Yeah, I got punched in the face a lot. It was bad. Probably grade 6 was my highlight because I switched to a completely new school, new people, no one I've ever known in my entire life. And that was the first year I ever sang in front of anybody, and I won my school talent show, so it was like a huge highlight of my life. Yeah.
That's the best. Yeah, no, bullying can really take like a mental toll on you. Like, while we're on the topic of school, I will get a little off track here and just say, bullying really, like, you can tell the kids who are bullied, like, it just takes a mental toll on them. The amount of people that you'll see that have, like, that are very shy in your class, that have, the kids that have, like, the self-esteem issues, chances are that they were probably bullied at a young age, like very young, for no apparent reason, and it just, like, caused them to, like, reverse Tory spelling, like, become a turtle in your shell. That was shady. And guys, that was our interview portion. When you see us next, we're going to be doing long division with Phoenix. No, I'm kidding. We're just going to do some trivia with our guests. Hi guys, and we're back with the Amanda's Couch tradition of special guest trivia. To test our special guests, special knowledge. At school, we're doing all-around trivia. So foie gras is a French delicacy made from the liver of what animal?
Sounds like frog.
Okay, let's see. You answer.
Frogwa.
Duck or goose? Incorrect. Wrong. Caw-caw! If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and lives in the water, it's a frog. What 1985 to 1992 sitcom earned Emmy Awards for its 4 stars, all women over the age of 50? That's the key word. All women over the age of 50.
I'm not smart.
Golden Girls.
Oh, okay.
Go. Incorrect.
I feel like it's gonna be Golden.
Do I know this? No. What U.S. agency's motto? So a U.S. agency, their motto is fidelity, bravery, integrity. Think about it.
The U.S. military?
It's a U.S. agency. Their motto is fidelity, bravery, and integrity. Put it together and what have you got? Bippity boppity boo. Fidelity, bravery, integrity.
Yeah!
Oh, I'm not even gonna know. How many teams are in the National American Football League? I don't know, 2?
17.
3? 15?
17.
You know that one? 17? Okay. 32!
The trick is being confident.
I believed you!
I believed me too.
I was so ready. You looked at me dead in the eyes, you were like, 17! And I was like, sports knowledge here on this show, unprecedented. And I'm like, yeah, 17, 30, 32. Alright guys, so thank you for sitting down with us. That is the Amanda's Couch Guest Trivia to test our special guests' special knowledge. And we're back. Right now we're going to get into our entertainment portion, which as I promised, I'm going to be teaching you a lesson. Come to my office. Y'all, there's a poltergeist in my house. All I did was clap and my Alexa told me that it's 11 a.m. And now my dog is barking.
It's the effect I have on
Girl, the power of drag compels you. Get out of here. Go. This is spooky. Welcome to the Ookie Kooky Spooky Mega Mookie Ding Dang Dookie Hallow Wookie Lookie experience here today on this couch. Okay, so now we're going to be getting into a little lesson. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I am a big fan of fashion history and the history of makeup. So I did this little series called 100 Years of Drag. And it started off, I'm a real big fan of the 1920s. I just love that look, that flapper look. I love the hair, like them finger waves and the bob and the whole fashion. And it started off in history class last year. We learned about the 1920s, learned about the fads and fashions of the 1920s, and loved it. Then in summer school we read The Great Gatsby and had to do a presentation on the 1920s again, and I chose fashion because not choosing politics. And so I fell in love with the 1920s, and so that had inspired me to do this like 1920s flapper look for my Instagram. And then I liked it so much, I was looking at it and I was like, I could turn this into a series. So I called it 100 Years of Drag, and then I did a 1930s look. I will put a picture here. 1930s look. So what I tried to do was pick an idol, like an iconic fashion idol of each decade. I did like a 1940s like this. I did a Joan Crawford with the victory rolls and the little bow-shaped red lip and the thick brows. Then for the 50s I did a Marilyn Monroe, which seems to be everyone's favorite. I thought it was fine. Then 1960s I did Twiggy. I did the whole mod look with a little pixie cut. 1970s I did Farrah Fawcett. 80s I did Madonna. 90s I did like this grunge look. I couldn't really think of anyone that like embodied the grunge look, so 2000s, if you know me, you know that I could not let this go without having to do a Britney Spears look. And 2010s I did a Kardashian look, and I think that highlights pretty much like the style icons of every decade, and it was so fun to do, and I wish I could do it again. So if you guys want to know any other series, like any other like looks you want me to do for my Instagram, comment down below and I'll probably read them if I learn to read in the next 6 months. So that was your little history lesson. Did I teach you anything? No. Are you gonna take anything away from this? No. Before we wrap up, I want to talk to you guys about clothes once again. I know you're probably sick of me saying this, but trust me guys, I have a great deal in store for you. California Apparel has offered us a discount code to get 20% off all the items there. If you use code capital DEXTERS, 3920, you could be getting 20% off all of these beautiful clothes. I love them because they're simple, yet so stylish. They're like, they have white shirts, they have black shirts, they all have that signature Halifax logo because it's a Canadian brand. And I feel like we don't have enough Canadian brands. So if you want to get Canadian clothing for 20% off, look no further than right here. Use capital DEXTERS 3920 at checkout for 20% off your entire purchase at californiaapparel.com. Also, if you like jewelry, we have a code Amanda15, all lowercase, to get 15% off at Rox Jewelry. That is ROX jewelry.com. And their jewelry is so beautiful. They have like marble stones and black leather cords. So use that code at checkout. You can get 15% off, I think, your entire purchase. Yeah, and they're a great company. They are so fantastic. I would go to them immediately if I were you. And that's our show. Our topic today was school. Did we talk about it? Not really. We interviewed Phoenix from behind the camera, and after that, I gave you a little history lesson. Our word of the week today is Tupperware. Alright guys, thank you so much for sitting on Amanda's couch, and I'll see you all next week. Special thanks to our producer and camera operator Gabe, who unfortunately couldn't be here, Phoenix for filling in behind the camera, my film teacher for lending us this camera, me for being fabulous, but also you guys for tuning in every week and supporting the show. I also want to thank California and Rox Jewelry for sponsoring this episode, and I'll see you guys all next week. Bye!